playing some great basketball, trusting each other.
Harry, for this game, when the Cavs were going on those runs, you guys constantly had a response. Was there anything that changed, or what did you see that allowed you guys to constantly kind of fight back?
Staying poised.
Flex had two of the biggest plays there at the end with the stop on Mitchell and then the block on Darius. Just over the last few years, what have you seen from his development and the confidence that he's obviously had grown?
I think you said it, just that confidence, and knowing that he's a big piece for us, and we need him every night.
Kyrie, you mentioned being back in Cleveland. You sent out that tweet yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
When you do come back to Cleveland and you touch down and then you play in this arena, what memories come rushing back to you?
I think a bunch. Had my first draft workout here, my only draft workout. The amount of pressure I was putting on myself coming in after the prodigal son of LeBron James leaves, and I have to take on the ropes after that, and who knows if I was ever going to live up to that billing. But I put that pressure on myself to fill some shoes that were never meant for me. I just wanted to create my own legacy. And in order to do that, I had to endure some rough years where we only had a few thousand people in the stands. And I was kind of, feeling that at times going home feeling like a lone ranger or a lone superhero, trying to bring Cleveland back to the top. And I think the greatest lesson I learned throughout that process was, it's not a lonely road that you're supposed to take on your own. And it takes a lot of help. And we had a heck of a team here that did something special that's forever sketched in NBA history. No matter what they say about me or anybody else, they have to talk about that team. They try to isolate me and say, well, Kai, what have you done since you left here? And it's like, it takes building a great team in order to accomplish something special, and I understand that. And I don't take this moment that I'm at right now for granted, because it took all those times for me to go through being here in Cleveland in order to achieve something special. And that's what I'm on the journey to do now, I feel, with this team here in Brooklyn. So Cleveland's never in the rear view. But it's definitely something I look back to remember what it takes to be a champion, and how many years I had to endure of all the shit talking and all the times of just dealing with all of this, what comes with it, and people doubting. And that's what makes me great, is just continuing to focus on what I do best, and just letting my play speak for itself.
You made your debut 11 years ago tonight. What do you remember about that game?
I remember not being very good my first game. I was on Knuckleheads podcast when I talked about Jose Calderon being my first person that kind of gave it to me in the league. And I think he had a double-double. Of course, being in that position of a number one pick, you're expected to come out with this debut, which I didn't. And it's okay. I just believe in, late bloomers sometimes are the best. And I'm blooming late in this league. And I'm okay with that, as long as I got some good guys around me. Some good friends, great relationships in the league that I could always look to for advice. That's all it's about now. It's just helping and winning ball games.
You're talking about building this team in Brooklyn as you guys are going. Just today, between Jacques and JB, you guys were talking about how this Nets team has seemed to turn around because the focus is entirely on basketball. Any other stuff outside seems to be put aside, and everybody's focusing on the task at hand. Would you agree with that assessment, that that's kind of been the biggest key in your guys' turnaround?
For me personally, I think I just put myself aside at times and just trust what we got going on here, and just allow the big picture to happen. Prepare myself every night for what role I'm playing, and go from there and just live with the results. Any external negativity or praise, I really don't care about it. I think I'm just focused on being the best version of me and just letting the results play out based on how well we trust one another as a group.
It's 9 games, 9 in a row. That's a couple weeks. But does this time compare as maybe the most fun or the best time that you've had in your stint with Brooklyn?
Nah, I try not to compare it to anything. Just trying to be present and enjoy what we have in front of us. Anytime I try to compare, foreshadow the future or plan the future. It never goes in my favor. So I'm just going to be as present as possible and just let these games come and handle it as we go out there. Each game is going to look different. So we just got to be ready for that. And I think we have a good group where we're flexible enough game to game where we can follow the game plan but also make our impact as individual talents and come out with the most important objective of the game, and that's to win. So
What's different about Ben now from 3-4 weeks ago?
I think he could probably answer that better. But for me as a teammate, just seeing him smile, have fun, and be competitive, that's him being himself. So anytime he could just be himself and trust that we have his back, then I feel like he's the best version of himself.
Last one, guys, last one.
You obviously know what title teams are about. You lived it here.
Mm-hmm.
As you're watching this team come together, and you guys are just stacking up wins in these last few weeks, do you feel like this group has what it's going to take, assuming you keep improving and getting to that point in a few months?
Yeah, I think the key is just to continue to improve and don't be satisfied with settling with a record in the regular season. We've seen a lot of great regular season teams not necessarily live up to the billing going in the playoffs. So we can use these as great tests and challenges, and that's where it is. It's just for us to continue to work on our improvement defensively and offensively. So, that's really where the focus is remaining consistent and staying disciplined. And just being honest with one another. When we go in that locker room, it's good when we come into halftime and we have things to say. And we're very talkative, and other times we're not as talkative. But I think we're just finding our identity off the court in terms of how we treat each other. And then that's looking good on the floor. It's looking great on the floor, honestly. We just want to keep it up.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.